Hello, students. Today we are going to talk about the poem Fire and Ice by Robert Frost. And before going to the poem, let us know about the poet. So, Robert Lee Frost, born on 26th March 1874 and died on 29th January 1963. So, basically, he is a 20th century American poet. He is called to be a nature poet because he has written a lot about nature. And we can also see clarity and simplicity in his use of language because the experiences that he talks about in his poems, the language he uses, it is quite simple. Even an ordinary person can understand his poem. But we can also see the excellent use of symbols in his poems. The use of nature, using the objects of nature, he described human psychology and feelings. We can see realistic depictions of rural life in his poems, and moreover, he uses ordinary everyday subject matter. But his subject matter has deeper thoughts in them. Though his language and subject matter is very ordinary, but we can see deep thoughts are there in his writings, in his poems. And now we'll talk about the poem that we are to discuss. The poem is published in December 1920 in Harper's Magazine. And what is there in this poem? In this poem, the poet talks about two modes of ending the world. The poet talks about how the world is going to end, and there are two ways. First one, he says it should be fire, and explicitly seems some outward force, some natural calamity, or some war, we can say. So, what he says, the world is going to end by fire. So explicitly it seems to he seems to say that the world will end by war, or maybe the excessive heat of the sun, the world might end. And the second thing he talks about was the ice age. When he says the world is going to end by ice, he might be talking about ice age, or he might be talking about the cooling down of sun, so that there will be no source of energy in this world and the world will perish. But these are only explicit meaning, because we know that Robert Frost is fond of symbols. So here also he uses symbolic language. It is a symbolic poem, so it implies symbolically that extinction of all life in this world will be due to because of fire. And fire here symbolical meaning is desire. And desire, we all know that desire consumes and destroys relations. If we have got excessive desire, relations are destroyed. And the another thing he's talking about, it was ice. Ice is the symbol of feelinglessness. And we can say that hatred or indifference, and hatred and indifference, it can kill harmony among the people of the nation. So this is the thing that he is talking about, the destruction of the world, and two forces are there, fire and ice, that are responsible for this destruction. I have told you the explicit meaning and also the implicit meaning of fire and ice here. Now we will go through the poem, what the poem is. So the title is Fire and Ice. It is quite understood. Explicitly, fire and ice means fire, the destruction through the excessive heat of the sun. Maybe the sun acts as a supernova and blast, and all the world will destroy. And the second thing, the ice. Ice means the cooling down of sun. Some say the world will end in fire. The poet talks about the opinion of some people. Some means some people who say that the world will end. Will end and means perish, destroy. That the world will be destroyed in fire by this object, fire. Some say in ice. And the other people, they have the opinion that the world is going to end in ice. From what I've tasted of desire, what the poet says, that from what he had tasted of desire, tasted means he had experienced of desire, the feeling of desire. What he says, that if he is talking about this thing, that the world is going to end in fire, and he knows a lot about desire, that's why he says that he holds with those who favors fire. What the poet says in first stanza, that because he had experienced this emotion, that is desire, that is greed, that is avarice, that is lust, so he, that is excessive love, we can say. So he says that he had experienced this feeling, and he know that this feeling can contribute a lot to the destruction of this world. So he is in favor of those people, in favor of the opinion of those people who say that the world is going to end in fire. In fire means the world will end with this feeling, desire. What we note here in this stanza, in first stanza, the rhyme scheme is really nice. What rhyme scheme is? Fire, ice, A, B. Desire, again A. Fire, again A. So the rhyme scheme of first stanza is A, B, A, A. Okay, so rhyme scheme is very good, and we can note that the last two lines of first stanza is a type of couplet, and why it is used. So fire, talking about fire, the destruction of the world with fire, and it is really rapid, and in order to show the rapidness of this destruction, he uses this rhyme scheme, desire and fire. So the rhyme scheme contributes to tell about the meaning, the sense of the poem. So this was the first stanza, in which the poet talks about the destruction of a world by two forces, fire and ice, and he holds with those, or we can say he is in favor of the opinion of those people who say that the world is going to end in fire, and fire here stands for desire. Desire, I have told you, lust, we can say excessive love for something. So now, the second stanza. But if it had to perish twice, what it says, if it had to perish twice, it means the world. If the world had to perish, perish to get destroyed, annihilate, to die. If the world is to die for the second time, I think I know enough of hate. As he told that he knows a lot about desire. He tasted desire earlier, and now he says that he had experienced enough of this feeling hate. Ice is the symbol of hatred. Why? Because ice is the symbol of indifference. Indifference means feelinglessness, and when we have such emotions as feelinglessness, callousness, so we know that we do not have feeling of fraternity among us. So what he says that I think I know enough of hate. He knows a lot about this feeling hatred to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. And because he have experienced hate, this feeling, and he now opines that for the destruction of the whole world, ice means the feeling of hatred is also great, and it is sufficient, would suffice, it is sufficient to destroy the whole world. This is a good poem, and we can note some technical devices here, poetic devices here, that I will discuss now. So what the technical devices, the poetic devices he is using? The poem is a very short poem having 9 lines, and the rhyme scheme of the poem is A B A A, that I've told you, and the second stanza B C B C B. And the rhyme scheme of second stanza, the last word is CB, but here the last couplet is AA. Destruction by fire is very fast, that's why the rhyme scheme is also fast, but the destruction by fire, we do not have much good feelings towards other, that's why it is slow. So the rhyming is also very slow, BCB. So it was the rhyme scheme A B A A B C B C B, and poet is using symbols here. Symbolism is really praiseworthy here. So what symbol? I have told you, fire. Fire is the symbol of greed. It is a symbol of lust, avarice, love of possession. So this is fire, and the I stands here for indifference, rigidity, coldness, hatred. It means we have no fellow feelings towards other. Fire means we have excessive love for one thing, excessive greed, lust, and here in ice we do not have any feeling of love. Okay, so the second thing that we note here is the alliteration. So alliteration we can find now and then in this poem. For example, In this line, I hold with those who favor fire. We know what alliteration is. Repetition of consonant sounds. So here the repetition is of first F sound. So favor fire. And we can also see the use of assonance here. Assonance repetition of vowel sound. So where vowel sound is repeated here, as in this line, I hold ho and those in the next line. But if it perish, so the repetition of is sound is here, and repetition of o sound is here, hall and those, and in this line. But if it and perish, so this is called assonance. And now again we can see the use of parallelism here. Parallelism means the beginning of these lines are similar, as in this line some say, and the second line again some say. So this is called parallelism. And now I want to know what the poet wants to tell us through the poem. So the moral of the poem is that we should avoid such extreme emotions as indicated by fire and ice. And we have known what fire and ice stands for. So we should avoid these emotions. We should not let these emotions overpower us, so that our society will remain in a good position. And the second thing, by excessive desire, greed, avarice, that is the symbolized by fire, and rigidness, indifference, and hatred, symbolized by ice. So by these emotions, relations, no matter international or personal, but relations can be destroyed. It means if we have got these emotions in us in excess, so our relations get destroyed, whether personal or national or international relations. And again, he says that we should keep our relations intact and spread good feelings and harmony among uh, people for the sake of humanity, for keeping the world a safe place to live. So, what the poet says, that what type of feeling should be there in us among people. Among people, we should have harmony for the sake of humanity. And why the harmony should be there? Because of humanity. If we have good feeling, fraternity, brotherhood among us, so our society will remain forever. Our society will not be damaged. And if we lack the emotion of fraternity, harmony is not there, then the world is going to end. So here the world is not a world only, it is applied here to a society as well, to a family as well. If we don't have good feelings among the family members, the family is destroyed. Among the people of a nation, the nation will get destroyed. Among the people of the world, so the world will get destroyed. So ultimately he says that we should have good feelings towards others. So I hope that you have understood the poem well, and now you'll be able to answer all the questions. So thank you for watching this patiently, and I hope it will help you a lot. Thank you till my next video.